Hello everyone and welcome back to my B&B Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brooke walked in on Hope Logan and Carter Walton. She easily intruded their office shenanigans, and the two spent the rest of the occasion explaining what was going on between them. They principally said they can't put a marker on what they're yet. They're going sluggishly and seeing what develops. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan wanted to know if they were serious. She asked about Carter and Katie Logan a couple of times, but substantially she wanted to make sure they were over. Carter said they were musketeers now, and that's all it presumably ever was. Still, Hope and Carter prompted Brooke not to tell anyone about this budding relationship. Brooke agreed. In the CEO's office, Steffy Forrester, Eric and Rich Forrester bandied Carter Walton's pitch. They couldn't believe he'd such an elaborate vision for Forrester. They all felt they were a family business. Doing what Carter proposed would bring by too numerous investment bankers, and they didn't want that. What Steffy Forrester wanted to know was why now? Why did Carter unleash this pitch on them at this moment in time? Her conjecture? Hope was manipulating Carter. Steffy Forrester refocused out how it wasn't that long ago that Carter was on her side. And now he's pushing for HFTF hardcore. It had to be Hope's doing. Eventually, Hope Logan, Carter Walton, and Brooke Logan continued to talk about what Brooke witnessed when Steffy suddenly walked in. She incontinently wanted to know what they were talking about. Steffy Forrester wasn't playing. She wanted to know what Hope, Carter, and Brooke were talking about. They prevaricated and said their discussion concentrated on Carter's vision for the company. Steffy Forrester had to tell him she felt the idea was too big and not veritably Forrester. And if he wanted to know what Ridge and Eric allowed, he'd have to talk to them. Also, she advised Carter about Hope and her manipulative ways. He responded by telling her he didn't have a weak mind. Also, Steffy asked to talk to Hope Logan alone. Steffy Forrester tried to get to the center of what was passing between Hope and Carter. She had no dubieties that Hope was using Carter to help save Hope for the future. Meanwhile, Rich Forrester and Eric were on the same runner regarding Carter's grand idea. They felt it was all wrong for Forrester. Latterly, Ivy Forrester and Electra walked into the room. After they were urged to pitch their line, Eric and Ridge approved the jewelry line reboot. Away, Brooke Logan and Carter Walton talked. She still felt the need to gauge whether or not Carter was authentically into her son. After all, she demanded Carter to be 100 all in with having Hope Logan's back. He verified he was, and unlike Liam, he wouldn't blin. Eventually, Steffy Forrester lit into Hope Logan, saying not to forget that the only reason her line was still alive was because of her. And if she ever crossed the line with her hubby again, she and HFTF were over. Carter Walton eavesdropped and intruded the heated discussion. He told her she had no right to talk to Hope Logan and her line. Steffy Forrester shouldn't use her position as CEO to discipline her. Finn and Steffy Forrester cozied up at home. Neither wanted to go to work, but they knew they had to. Before going their separate ways, they bandied Steffy Forrester's issues at work, Fidelis at Hope Logan and Carter Walton, and the fact she didn't indeed suppose they should do the jewelry line. When Steffy Forrester left for work, she accidentally forgot to take her tablet. Hope Logan and Carter Walton were alone in their office when he mentioned that Brooke Logan's bedroom designs were in, and he took a look at them. Hope, of course, flirted with him and had to remind him that he'd been allowing about her in lingerie again. Latterly, Brooke Logan walked in on them and wanted them to flash back where they were. They formerly had close calls, and they had said they wanted to keep their situationship on the down low. Ultimately, Carter Walton decided to go talk to Ridge about any opinions made about his plan. Meanwhile, Rich Forrester and Taylor Hayes talked about her broken heart pattern and how she was doing better. She indeed visited Grace for a scan. The croaker was happy to hear about the whole chakra mending session they did. In the middle of their discussion, Carter intruded them to ask if there was a decision about his ideas. Rich Forrester was a little protective at Carter's asseveration that this was what Forrester demanded to do to grow. Rich felt they were formerly doing that and that no decision had been made. They all demanded time to suppose about it because this was a big deal. Carter hoped Rich had his side in this and talked about Steffy letting particular conflicts get in the way. Eventually, Finn Finnegan walked into Hope Logan's office with the tablet Steffy Forrester left at home. Of course, Hope had made the decision to change into one of Brooke Logan's bedroom designs. Allowing she was going to surprise Carter Walton. She was hella surprised when it was Finn rather. The awkwardness got worse when she tripped into Finn's reticent arms. Right at that moment, Steffy walked by and saw Hope Logan in lingerie in Finn's arms. She incontinently yelled, "Hope, you get off my hubby right now." Steffy Forrester wanted to know what the hell Hope was allowing, and after Finn left to go to work, Steffy Forrester demanded to know what was going on. Hope tried to explain that she wasn't dressed like this for Finn, but she stayed silent when Steffy Forrester wanted a name. That was all Hope demanded to do, and she didn't say anything. So Steffy Forrester fired her. Sheila, neatly dressed up like a witch for Halloween, and she managed to go a step further and she decked Il Giardino out. Cleric wasn't as important of an addict of it as she was, but he went on with it because for one it was too late to change it. Carter stopped by for some pizza, and Cleric got a chance to talk to him about how Carter had his son's back. He appreciated that notoriety at Forrester stood by Hope. Brooke Logan and Taylor bandied Hope and Steffy Forrester being on contrary sides. Brooke was glad that Carter had Hope's back. Taylor argued Hope's side of effects and brought up Hope kissing Finn, which was why Steffy Forrester didn't trust Hope at all. Brooke assured them that nothing between Hope and Finn would be again. Taylor and Ridge Forrester were formerly again alone when Steffy Forrester raged in and told them what had happened between Hope and Finn. She also told them that she fired Hope and that she hoped her pater would back her on this. Hope was dressed in her regular work outfit again when Katie walked by. After telling her aunt what had happened, Katie told her she'd have her back. She didn't suppose Ridge would authorize of this blasting, but she'd put in a good word for her bastard. Meanwhile, Carter went to Eric so they could bandy his ideas for the future of Forrester. Eric appreciated everything Carter did to get this pitch ready, all the exploration he'd done. He noted that to make this all be, Forrester would have to take out loans, which would mean that Forrester would be in debt for the first time ever, and that wasn't going to be on Eric's watch, so it was a no for him. Hope walked by on Ridge, Steffy Forrester, and Taylor to explain her side of effects. She said it wasn't what Steffy Forrester allowed. It was. After all, how could she have known that Finn was indeed going to be there at that specific time? Unfortunately, Hope didn't clarify effects by explaining why she really dressed up in lingerie in the office. She understood how it sounded, but Steffy said she'd say anything to save her line, including lying through her teeth. Steffy advised Hope over and over again, and she knew the consequences if commodity differently should be. They were no longer supporting HFTF, and this alleged girl's girl demanded to go because she was a fake and a fraud. Ridge and Taylor watched Steffy call Hope what Stephanie called Brooke so long ago, another ST from the valley. Steffy wanted Hope out now and said they would shoot her effects. In front of Charlie and arbitrary Forrester workers suddenly in the hallway, Hope professed how proud she was to be a Logan, and that was commodity indeed. Stephanie accepted in the end. Ridge told her to go, so Hope made the walk of shame to the elevator. Steffy thanked Ridge for supporting her. His facial expression read that he knew he was going to be in trouble with Brooke sooner rather than latterly. Also Hope rushed outdoors where Carter in a convertible pulled up, stopped and also got out, wanting to know what had happened. Hope told him she was fired and asked him to please take her down. After they participated a kiss, Carter looked at the Forrester Creations signage and said, "They're not getting down with this."